Welcome to AdventurousLee, and this is another episode in our hotel and resort reviews. This review involves the Hyatt Ziva Los Cabos, and we were in Los Cabos earlier this year for an incentive trip. My husband works for a roofing company, and every year their main supplier takes a bunch of the companies that buy supplies from them on an incentive trip. I'm not going to get into how you earn your way to this incentive trip because it's not important for this video, but it's something we get to do every single year. And every year it is in a new location. This year, Los Cabos. This is actually our second trip to Cabo. We went the year before with some friends just on a regular vacation. But I wanted to give you a review of the Hyatt Ziva. And please keep in mind that these are mainly still shots, a few videos of our time there, and they were simply for our memories. They weren't necessarily with this AdventurousLee YouTube channel in mind, but I thought it might be worth showing in case anyone has ever considered going there, because a lot of times when people think of all-inclusive, they may not think of Hyatt, or even now Hilton has entered into the all-inclusive realm. And so I thought it might be interesting for folks to hear a little bit about our experience at the Hyatt Ziva Los Cabos. These are some photos from when we arrived, the entrance outside, as well as the lobby inside. Of course, there was a ton of signage relating to all of the folks there for the incentive trip. By the way, there are so many people on this incentive trip that there are no other guests in the resort. It's just folks on this trip, which hasn't always been the case, but it seems to be the case this year. Here's a lovely view from as you walk through the lobby area and out the other end. This is the pool area that you look out onto. And of course, all of the rooms are on the right and left of that. There were several pools, and this was the main pool. We got there in the evening, and as soon as we got there, there was a lovely welcome reception with a buffet table. The food was actually really good. Sometimes at these all-inclusives, when you have a huge buffet, you don't necessarily get the best food. This is my margarita. It was my first drink of the evening. I think it was probably my only drink as well. I'm not a heavy drinker, and sometimes it doesn't always agree with me, so we kept it at that. Just a couple other photos here of the grounds, but next, let's go ahead and take a look at the room as you walk in. And by the way, I took this video after we were already kind of in the room for a little bit, so don't mind the mess.
It looks like walking in, and then we have the bathroom. You have a water closet, 2 sinks, and this is like a tub shower combo. Those you can open or close for if you want privacy. This is where there's more storage down here. And then everything in this fridge is complimentary, even the alcohol. So they have beer, wine, water, pop. And then they always put some sweets in there. And there's always some chips. There's also Oreos. Kris already ate those this morning. That must have been his breakfast. I don't know. And then I think this is an espresso, like an old version, but one of those. Another storage closet. That's where the iron and everything was. Another dresser. Big, like a TV stand plus more space. Ottoman. Bed, side tables, and then the living area. Okay, then when you come out here, we have our little balcony, and we got a nicer room. It's a longer story, but what that means is we just have a swim up. We have a swim up room, so we're on the first floor. So the pool in this swim up and the water in what I call the fun pool, which is where I'm going to be sitting today, are all heated. So like if you dip your foot in here, it feels like warm. Oops, I almost lost my, oh no, I'm losing my flip-flop. It feels like warm bath water. It feels so nice. A couple chairs out here. I don't see a lot of people in the swim up pools, but it is kind of nice to have. It's really pretty to sit out here in the morning. That's our view. You can't really see the ocean, but it's out there. So if we were up higher, we'd have an ocean view. But anyway, yeah, so that's our room.
Also, while I was there, I discovered Karen Slaughter, the author, and I have to say her books are pretty freaking awesome if you like murder mystery, by the way. This is me outside of our room, which was a swim-up room, having a little mimosa that morning. Just another view of the property, this time from the opposite direction, looking back at the lobby, and of course, more rooms, more suites. Some evening looks here onto the property. So we spent most of our day sitting by the pool and just sun tanning, talking with friends, ordering food and drinks, and enjoying the sounds of the ocean. Me reading. The hotel had activities every single day. And on this particular day, they were having a foam party, which combined with the music and, of course, some folks with quite a bit of alcohol, as you can see here. Folks are partying. He was actually with us and had a great time. And then here's sort of the aftermath of that party, which was super fun. Something that we did as a group, we went to a restaurant that was off-site. As you can see here, it was part of the incentive trip. They took everyone from the company that my husband works for. They took us out to this restaurant. And I'm telling you what, this restaurant was so cool. One of my favorite things about this restaurant was that, as you'll see in some of these photos, food was amazing, by the way. It was set outside and you kind of felt like you were in a jungle of sorts because you're surrounded by palm trees. That was our table, it's just kind of plunked right down in the middle of this tropical area. It was absolutely beautiful. That's my husband, Kris, and myself just enjoying the evening and getting ready to eat food. Then one of the other activities we went on, and again, you can do this. You can go to that restaurant. You can enjoy this activity I'm about to tell you about, whether or not you're on an incentive trip. It wasn't special for us. There was an area nearby where you could ride in side-by-sides and four-wheelers. And so we took a trip and did that. We made a little stop to overlook the ocean here. More photos of that. We actually got to drive down onto the ocean. Took a little stop there, and then here's a little clip from that ride. At the end of the side-by-side excursion, they had a complimentary tequila tasting. My husband does not drink, but I decided to do the tequila tasting. They had a traditional margarita tequila. They had a coffee tequila. They had a tequila that was sort of like a combination of coffee and cream. And then they had just straight tequilas that you could taste. So all in all, we had about 7 different tastes, 3 of which were mixes, and the other 4 were just different types of tequila that are specific to that area and made there. They claim to be organic, and they claim that makes them superior. I actually don't know. This is me afterwards. No, this is me before, because afterwards my shirt was very, very dirty. This is our group afterwards. You can see more of the dirt on my shirt. We had a really great time, super fun. One thing I will say about Cabo in the winter, it is very windy. The highs were around 78. I think we might have had a day or two that topped 80 degrees, but the lows at night got down to 50 degrees. So if you're going to go to Cabo in the winter, bring a mix of clothing because you will be cold in the evening if you don't have something to cover up with. We also took a day and went walking around in what I will call downtown Cabo. That's my husband being a goofball. That is his colleague Felix also being a goofball with his hat. And just some general shots of downtown. Pretty famous sign that everybody has seen. Another excursion that the hotel provided that we went on, I didn't go on this particular day, but a bunch of other folks did, was a fishing excursion. And one of the coolest things of this excursion is they do allow you to bring certain fish back to the hotel. And there is a restaurant at the hotel that will cook the fish for you. They do charge for this. They charge, I want to say, $20 a person to specially prepare your fish. And they give you some options. For us, they made us fish tacos. So they fried pieces of mahi-mahi and put them into tacos. Those were absolutely the best. They also had some blackened, and I believe there was another that was maybe grilled. but all of it was really good. There's my husband with fish guts all over his pants. Interesting story about that, by the way. He was using those pants frequently that week because they unzip at the thigh and go into shorts, and they stunk, as you could imagine, of fish. And I scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed them in that nice big open shower and used hand soap to get them out. And guess what? I got them all clean. I was really proud of myself. So this is one of our group meals, and this was the meal that we had where they prepared the fish for us. You can see several of the dishes. The dishes were absolutely delicious. I highly recommend this place, if nothing else, for the food. The facilities were beautiful as well, but this was one of the dishes they made. So it isn't just that they made the fish, but they made a whole dish around each of the cuts of fish that they used. And the last thing that I'll share is on our final night, they have a farewell dinner. Again, it's outside, but this time it is on the beach. And again, it's a buffet. And they had performers, special speakers, and then, of course, they announce the location for next year's incentive trip, which I believe is in Riviera Maya. That's Kris and I after the meal. Really super great meal. And surprisingly, the weather was not super cold this night. I actually, for the first night, did not need something to cover my arms. So it must have warmed up to the mid-60s that night. And then they finished the night with some gorgeous fireworks, which was really fun and made it extra special. So that is the Hyatt Los Cabos. I will end by saying this. The service was stellar. Our room was very beautiful. We were really lucky because we got a swim out room. I did not use the spa facilities. I will be sure on every subsequent review to get photos of the spa and to utilize it so that I can report back out on it. But we heard good things about the spa there. And so that's the Hyatt Ziva Los Cabos. If you have visited there, please comment below and make sure to like and subscribe.